And welcome everybody to the CBC podcast. This time, you probably didn't even hear an intro to this thing because I don't have time to record it because we're doing this kind of quick before the snow buries me and I'm like when Homer and Mr. Burns got buried on top of the mountain. Although I may or may not be as insane as Mr. Burns. So we'll see how that plays out during the course of this great podcast we got here for you. So many great topics. That I haven't even brought up. They're so big, I don't even know where I put the file. So I'm going to just do that while I intro myself. And of course, Mitch.
Yes, I'm here. You can follow me on Twitter at 692tweets.
Every time you go to say that, I'm like, wait, no, he said that. No, he said that right. He said that right. I'm just used to 3 or 4 years of the other thing.
I'm still getting there.
Have you considered selling off your old Twitter as some sort of NFT, something that's maybe non-fungible or fungible?
I have actually. No, I'm joking. No, because I saw this thing where people were actually saving the profile pictures of the people that have the NFT hexagon on Twitter, getting it minted somewhere else to then link it to their Twitter so they have the same profile picture. And I'm like, you can't fund you the token. What are you doing?
You know who might be the expert, though, of funging tokens? Tristan.
I don't know about that.
Tristan's fungied all the tokens.
How's Windows 11?
Oh my God.
You went there. You went there.
I swear to God, every week at least twice I wake up and I'm about to just have a fist fight with my computer. I'm like, why did you, if there was an option to go to Windows 11 because it was freaking installed by default on the new PC, I would just get rid of it, scrap it. Do not update
I mean,
people.
At least you can update your PC. Mine hasn't been able to have that update for like 2.5 years at this point. I'm like, you know what?
My old Windows 10 PC is still stuck on that. It's like, will not do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah. Yeah, I was like, if I have to go into the board and everything to switch it to turn on to actually activate Windows 11 upgrade, I'm fine right now. But yeah, you can catch me at SG Chance.
Oh, that's good. Catch people on the internet. Just before we quickly get into this, obviously, thank you everybody that tunes in for the podcast, that's tuning in for this, liking, subscribing, doing whatever else you can do with these things here. With all that in mind, we do actually have a pretty good show here. We got a couple of Q&As that, of course, I took for our members from the CBC members section. So we're just going to get straight into our first topic, which broke right before we recorded this. So it's actually the curse of Windows 11 caused us to actually be able to add this and not save it for a whole week, that's kind of good, I guess. So Sony is officially making the Madam Web film, and they got writers that already wrote the full thing. They even got a director, and Dakota Johnson will play Madam Web. So,
That Madam Web chat about to get real kinky.
Yeah, I was like, is it really Madame Web if they have to change everything?
Well, Deadline said that because of, there's no comic runs, there's no villains she actively fights, it could be changed to something else. And I'm just like, no, duh.
Yeah.
You can't make a Madam Web movie.
That's what I'm like thinking. I was like, she's not like a major character. She just sits in a chair for most of her appearances and just talks about the web.
So she's a plot device.
Yeah.
An exposition giving plot device.
Which, I'm glad you kind of brought that up, because here's my idea, which I think all of us automatically had the moment they announced this, right? This is the film where you introduce Moreland and connect it to the bigger everything Sony connected.
Yep.
This is the one. Like, it's...
You play it off in No Way Home, you're like, oh, because of what they've done in that movie, it's caused a little ripple, and the inheritors are all after the Spidey totems.
Yep.
Yeah, Marlon got hungry.
Yeah.
Which, I'll give it to Sony. Out of everything they've announced that they want to do or are developing, this is the one that I'm like, yeah, this I could go with this. Still, look, I'm a fan of like Black Cat and Silver Sable, but I don't want those projects. But like this, I'm like, this you can actually tie to Spider-Man in a more concrete and meaningful way. So I'm all down for this. I have nothing bad, honestly, about this currently, but when Sony inevitably fudges something up, we'll talk about those problems.
It's also a way to like bring in Venom, and you can have like the symbiotes and Null tied to the web and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, it's. I mean, this is
Like
also how
they're
you
the dark web.
The,
Oh no.
How
Null
many?
was just one big NFT.
How many legs does a spider have? 8 legs. Wait, what? Dark web.
Oh.
What? Sony, stop, please. Oh. But at least, this could connect to Silk and everything, which again, it's got to be their long-term plan here. Like, it's expanding that world in a somewhat coherent, connective way, which it's strange to say that about Sony, but hey,
I mean, it's coherent in the sense you can see where they're going, but they're absolutely building a China shop getting there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you're gonna go for that one next, cool. Yeah.
Which also I do want to bring this up for a second. So we just talked about it last week, coincidentally enough. Where does this leave Olivia Wilde's film, which is probably Spider-Woman?
I mean, that's what it's rumored to be, though.
Well, man, you would have thought that one, because they had apparently a concrete script and had her as director already. So it's like, I was kind of thinking, like, when I saw the article, I was like, oh, this is the Wilde film, right? And I click it, I'm like, never mind. Yeah, back away from that theory.
It is not. No, if she's not doing Madam Web, she's definitely doing Spider-Woman.
Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't be surprised if that gets announced this year as well.
From what we see, Sony has 2 Spider-Man productions this year. One is Kraven, set to start literally this month, and then the other one must be this now. They're this far ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
What a wild time. But hey, any other thoughts on this? I guess we can't really say much more on this other than what we've said. So,
I'll do my time old tradition. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep. You still believe Venom exists or what?
Yeah. I mean, does it?
Does it really?
Does it?
Yeah. Well, I guess there we go. We're all kind of like, we'll see what happens, and then we'll actually talk more about it once we know. Once we see a set photo that's like, what are they doing? We'll talk about it then. Until then, nothing more. There is probably a chance that you have heard about the CBC YouTube channel membership and have no idea what it is. Essentially, you toss us a few bucks a month to get additional content like audio commentaries, discussions about the fandom, the good, the bad, and the toxic side of it, looking into canceled comic book films and TV series, weekly audio commentaries for MCU shows when they air, and of course, all the comic book films that come out. So come check out the memberships and what we offer. Our first piece of Q&A, as always, we got to toss John up in here, the MVP of the Q&A section, and he had a good one he sent in this week. This was like the top one that just stuck out to me, so I'm like, this will be good to toss in here. And he asks, what are some legit criticisms about gaming, film, and the print industries? So, I mean, you can take this many, many ways, but I think one legit criticism that many of us, I think, can agree upon is any specific studio, if they find one thing works, automatic oversaturation, and nobody's more guilty than Ubisoft and WB. I mean, good God. Like, Assassin's Creed 2, that formula worked, and they're like, guess what? In 10 years, every single game will be Assassin's Creed, just a different skin. And you're like, oh my God, guys. Like, no need for it, but that's what it is. Like, Ghost Recon is now Assassin's Creed. You're like, all right, guys, it's okay, sure. So that's kind of mine. Anything else?
I mean, I was trying to think. Well, what do you mean by like?
I am trying to figure. I'm trying to figure like what way it meant because
I was gonna say if it starts with like woke, then just completely ignore it. Like that's not a legit.
That's all.
That's totally. Everything but that is a normally legit criticism.
Yeah, I'm like trying to wrap my head around like criticisms because like there's many, but I can't focus on any a particular one.
Look,
they're also vastly different. What's the word? Like industries.
Yeah.
No, you could go like gaming industry to crunch.
Yeah.
Well, the crunch could be for all industries actually.
But I think gaming's the more prominent with it, right?
Yeah, I suppose the VFX people get crunch as well.
Yeah. I mean, look at Spider-Man No Way Home. The film was editing after release and updating the reels at theaters because it wasn't finished.
Yeah.
Like, what? Bro, they're EAing films now. What in the world? Like,
Yeah, that's kind of wild. That.
yeah. It's
I mean, they can now since the projectors are basically just computers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a crazy time.
Yeah, I suppose crunch is probably the main one. 'Cause I suppose if you look at all of them, everyone gets it. Artists in comics have to crunch. VFX people in movies have to crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Developers for games have to crunch.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's kind of it. I mean, if you look anywhere hard enough, you're going to see criticisms that you could throw at any industry. I mean, we don't even have to bring the print industry into this. Just go to your local supermarket and look at the newsstand and look at how the same exact thing, the same exact story can be spun 6 different ways to form a narrative. That's a criticism because, again, that's how it is. And look, that's everywhere. You can reword something in so many different ways. So I guess it's kind of broad.
And rewording it in a way that gets your argument across to where it's technically not even true in the actual column.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of clickbait that Sony's brought Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, guys.
I saw that. I'm like, I suppose.
The column is they bought a Halo dev team. Okay.
Yep. We are hearing that Marvel, or more importantly, Disney in this instant, I will say, is having quite a big apparent Super Bowl blowout with trailers and spots. Every year Disney does typically bring a handful of spots because they are expensive, 5 to 10 million per 30 seconds. So it makes sense.
From what I saw, and people have been saying, it's mostly going to be like 3 spots. People predicting it's going to
funny, that ain't it?
Yeah, it's going to be Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, and Lightyear.
That's the ones that make sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, see, no, I would have gone with Love and Thunder.
Oof. Man, that would be a blowout.
It's 5 months out. That's the usual MO.
Holy crap! What?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god. We're in 2022. What?
Yeah, we are. We're in February as well. It's been the whole month.
Where have I been the last couple months? I'm still stuck in like November, I guess. Oh, okay. All right. Damn. Yeah. I mean, Doctor Strange is a given. You want all eyes on that, and I'm gonna just guess you gotta have a money shot in the trailer that gets the internet to explode. So this is probably your biggest one. This is going to be during the halftime show, somewhere right around there. You want the most eyes on it. I'm quite excited for these spots. I'll be real with you. Typically, I kind of know what's going on with the Super Bowl. I at least know who's in the playoffs. I have no idea this year. Nothing.
All I know is Brady's retired, and that's
all I know. Yep. Yeah. I'm not very knowledgeable of these here sports, but hey, I do play those football games every year. So
when is that Lightyear movie out?
I have no clue.
It's supposed to be this summer, I think.
That would make sense. Yeah, because typically Pixar does a summer release that's pretty huge. So huge. I should
It
say.
depends. If that's out before Thor, then
yeah, it's so far it hasn't changed. It's June 17th.
Oh, okay.
And when's Love and Thunder?
Isn't Love and Thunder in July?
Not sure. Because
July.
didn't they change it? Oh, okay.
8th of July.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's possible that they can have 4, or they can either have either one, because Lightyear and Love and Thunder are basically a month apart.
Yeah, it's.
So I think Moon Knight and Doctor Strange are a given.
Yeah.
But anyone being like, "Oh, they got a trailer scoop," it's like, yeah, thanks. No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We all
Is the sun going to rise tomorrow? Please tell me. I need to know.
Well, want to bet some fungible tokens on that?
I mean, you'll lose because all I got to do is ask Australia.
Oh, Benny right now is screaming somewhere because he scored victory. He's like, "Aha! I'm ahead of you. I win." So yeah, look, we're gonna get Super Bowl spots.
I put money on Thor.
Yeah. I'm also just gonna, I'm willing to kind of bet something on this. We're getting something Jurassic World, whatever the next one is. It's out
So
in
they've
like
been making something for that?
dude, they've done like no trailer, nothing. It's been like dead. It's like 100+ days away or something. It's like right around the corner.
They've been making some spots, but they're like so random. If you haven't been watching TV, because like there was like one weird ad for the Beijing Olympics, and it was for skiing, and they had a T-Rex from the franchise show up in it. I was like, what was the point
What is
of this?
happening?
I'll be honest, I didn't even know they started making the movie.
It's been pretty much just like, oh yeah. I mean I'm excited, but I hated the last one, so whatever.
I haven't even seen it.
It's bad. It is bad.
Yeah. I saw World and I was like, cool, I'm done.
Yeah, but the next one,
next one.
Mitch, the next one, Russians and Trump are betting on dinosaurs with homing missiles for their faces or whatever. Attachments, lasers.
I just looked, and Jurassic World Dominion comes out the week before Lightyear does.
I guess R.I.P. Lightyear.
Yeah. Although you never know, but hey, we'll talk about it more. Look, once we get the spots at the Super Bowl, we'll probably do a rundown of all the interesting things in one topic, and then we'll cover some of those there. So, well, guys, it's time for a quick, brief intermission to remind you that if you are watching this on YouTube, you can also get the entire podcast in audio-only form. It is linked in the description down below in every single video we have, and the podcast is available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify. The show in its entirety is made available every Sunday night. So with that in mind, let's get back to the podcast at hand. We're going to do another Q&A. This one comes from Geese Studios, Geass, Gas Studios.
Geass.
I'm gonna go with that. That sounds correct.
We're all code Geass.
Yeah, that sounds good. So here we go. He asks, since we're building the piece of the Ultimates team, having already Spectrum, Carol, whoever will be the next Black Panther, America Chavez being introduced in Multiverse of Madness. What do you see, or when do you see a movie or series fitting into the MCU timeline in the future that could also include Blue Marvel? And could they introduce them in that project?
You have a movie literally called The Marvels.
I'm kind of guessing that character appears there, right? Like, you would think, and I know that there's been some conflated casting stuff, because we know that they were looking for an African-American to play a bigger role, and everybody was like, oh, it's got to be Nova. They're changing Nova's color, and we're all just like, or in The Marvels, you have Blue Marvel. Coincidence, huh? Like,
I say, if they don't do it, they've missed a trick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys, like, literally right there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Marvel names.
There is.
Not as many as Spider-Man names, but there's a lot of Marvel.
Oh, the Spider-Man are just called Spider-Man, not even many changes.
Yeah.
I don't
know. The Marvels. If he's not in there, I'll be shocked.
Or at least, if he's in it, I could see him as a Black Knight, Dane Whitman type of role, where it's you don't get the powers or nothing, but tease him as the character, and it's like at the end gets the powers, and it's like, guess what? We're gonna do a Black Marvel series. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
You know,
I can see that.
That's a good way to do it, just so you don't overstuff it with so many powerful people in that film.
Yeah, you got all the lasers and the Green Lantern crap going on. There's gonna be a lot.
Really a lot. And we haven't really had a lot of leaks in regards to Captain Marvel 2 either, which is shocking.
No, because the leaks go one at a time.
Yeah, that is true. Come on, Lego.
I think the last thing I saw was like Korvac, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And teasing some sort of relationship, but we don't know again. So there we go. I mean, hopefully, I would like to see Blue Marvel. So we'll see what happens. Speaking about the cosmic side and the bigger world out there, the Eternals. It looks like there's multiple Eternals returning to shoot various different things from Marvel Studios soon. One, we already talked about how Icarus at least the stunt double is doing something for Marvel Studios soon. And this year, it looks like the actor who played Gilgamesh is doing something Marvel Studios this summer, as that's kind of out there now. Like, he's a South Korean actor that people discovered, oh, he's going to be coming to work in the United States because he's applying for the visas and everything. And this is usually made sort of public because of foreign actors coming to the U.S. That's a lot of times that's how we learn about roles. It's like, oh, this actor just happened to land in Australia and had to get a visa. We know what's going on, right? So, like, I mean, I think I'm really excited by this, just by the idea of I don't have to wait till whenever the next Eternals film happens to see more of these characters. Like, I want them to become, you know, part of the MCU universe faster and interact with the characters sooner than it took Guardians and the Avengers, because that was like, what, 5 years, 6 years wait? You're like, come on, just cross over already. Like, I want it faster.
The problem there is they're not in any real sort of situation to do that. The only one that can be is Icarus.
Yeah.
No, but spoilers, the two of them died. I mean, I suppose you could have Sprite in a way. Icarus and Sprite having a little show up somewhere.
Can one of the Disney shows afford the CG on down, like, upsizing the head and all those powers? Because I'm not sure. I'm still convinced that there was CG used on Sprite's head. It just didn't look right for some reason.
Well, no, it's because she's a child and kids' heads are always bigger than everything else.
Okay, I'll believe that. You're probably telling the truth. I won't fact check this.
I mean, look at everything.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
You look at a baby, their heads are huge.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess the bigger question is, what projects are they returning in? Because Icarus and Gilgamesh, both dead, quote unquote, but, you know, new versions of them.
One's definitely dead. The other one, it wasn't clear.
Yeah. And also, you could just restore their body, right? Or do whatever. I mean, yeah.
But then that was like, at least with let's just say hypothetically, Gilgamesh is the only one that's dead.
Yeah.
If he gets restored, we know they get restored in the World Forge, which is off somewhere in space. So that's a plot point for the sequel, surely.
Yeah, exactly. So unless there's a flashback or a multiverse thing, which then it's like, okay,
there is that. Yeah.
Do you toss him into Loki then? It's like, oh, look.
Possibly.
Variant.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh is a variant of Loki. I will take it. I take it. Oh, he was honestly one of my favorite parts of that film. Like, his energy and just, he was fun character. So then I
felt sorry for him when he dropped the pie.
Yeah.
My heart went the same way as the pie. It's just like, oh.
Yep.
No, Gil.
Oh.
No, I actually don't know where they could show up. No.
I mean, for all
it doesn't help. We don't like everything. You can look at everything they've announced, and it's like, well, they don't really fit anywhere in there.
Yeah,
I feel like it's going to be this year after they do their big announcement. Then we might get a better idea.
I was going to say, because this summer we have D23, and this is the one we're expecting another giant rollout. Because by this D23, they will officially have started
Comic-Con.
Yeah, and I mean, this summer they've officially started production or wrap production on everything they announced that D23 from like 2.5 years ago. So
yeah,
it's going to be about time where, you know, we get a giant blowout of, hey guys, here's 15 more projects. Now be quiet and wait a couple years, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's kind of nuts that everything they've announced is virtually done.
Everything
Has Armor Wars started yet?
That was supposed to start, but it got bumped into like what seems like the next couple months. Yeah. And what's more interesting about this is everything they announced 3 months prior to the announcement of Green Lantern and Strange Adventures has happened, and those shows are still just sitting there.
Yeah.
So
poor Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'm really sad about that character. But hey, what do you know? What do you know? Our next Q&A comes from Eric. We know Eric. He asks, and it's a little bit of a longer question, but he says, after The Flash, do you think fans and general audiences will be all in on the new DCEU with Batgirl, Supergirl, and Shazam?
If they will be, if they're good.
I'd say if it resonates, then sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see why they wouldn't. Right now, it's kind of, without seeing anything from them, it's kind of hard to gauge that one, to be honest. I'd like to think they are.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, I think reception is all, right? Like,
yeah,
if people like them, and if the movie is really good, we're all like, yes, more. But if this ends up being BVS like 3 or 4, just so you know, whatever, it's like, oh no, this is a disaster. Like, no, I don't want this. So, ugh.
We will know when the memes start coming in after the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The memes are always an indicator, always.
Yeah, but there's also a second part of this I kind of want to separate. And then he says, also, do you think fans will stick around after The Flash because it's still in the same universe that started with Man of Steel or not? Like, because that's the thing, right? Like, we still don't know how they're retconning and playing with elements, so what could they really do? Like, what do you do? Because, honestly, I don't know many people that I see personally. Like, every year, I see tons of people being like, hey, I'm doing an MCU rewatch or something. I've seen, like, 2 people, do the, DCEU rewatch. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess, it does.
Excuse me.
No, it goes into that problem with me, where I did see a couple people say that, but then they got confused by saying, do I have to include the old Batman movies?
Yeah.
Because of the parallel universes and stuff going on with the Flash movie or whatever.
See, I approach that in the same way I do the Marvel ones. It's like, it's completely optional.
Yeah.
Right, you can watch Tobey Maguire's and Garfield's Spider-Man's, sure, but you don't need to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's kind of my approach, and I think, the bigger picture for the DCEU, and I'm sorry, I know there's diehard DCEU fans there that think that everything Zack Snyder did is a on-par rival to the MCU, and people just don't appreciate the art house or whatever approach. The fact of the matter is, the general audience did not resonate with that universe as much as they did with the MCU. So the shift in everything is WB pivoting because they're in trouble. Just this week, we saw what is happening, and they're doing more consolidation and selling off to pay off debt. And not only that, the previous budget we heard that AT&T had to get rid of for dumping WB was like $30 billion more than anybody estimated. So they're literally looking to clean house, and WB's caught in the middle of it, and they're just trying to do whatever. So there's so many problems there that if they were to, for some reason, be like, okay, people didn't resonate with this new DCEU, bring back Snyder, I don't see that happening. I know many people.
Even in the world, if, let's say, hypothetically, the Flash tanks and no one likes it, and it's whatever, and they don't move forward with that, they're never going back to Snyder.
Yeah.
Ever. Even if they wanted to, Snyder's not going to do it. It's the same with Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is done. And Christ, he doesn't even want to come back and do Daredevil.
Yeah, dude, Ben Affleck seems checked out of this whole thing. Like, he doesn't want any of it. So,
it's. I don't know. What was the question again? I
just kind of a bunch of it. Will fans and general audiences, what happens after the Flash, and will they resonate with the new?
Will they accept the Flash?
Yeah.
If it's good, it's good.
I think, if it's that's the short answer.
I mean, here's the thing. I know people will be like, oh, the new Supergirl and Batgirl are woke. People aren't accepting this. And then we're just going to look at the action figure sales and how many girls are gravitating towards these characters and all the sales of the Halloween costumes. We're going to go, oh, really? So why is it Batgirl, Supergirl are more profitable right now than Batman and Superman? Tell me this. And then we're going to get some sort of backhanded answer that's like, wow, hiding numbers agenda. It's the same cynical cycle that we had with Captain Marvel and everything.
You get it every time.
Every time. And we'll be here to lose subscribers and have people yell at us for being right. Don't worry about that one. We're excited for it. Don't worry. We're excited. We are.
Just like the video.
Yeah. Do it. Put us more in the algorithm. And once again, we find ourselves at the crossroads of another intermission. This time we are talking about CBCYT.com. which is our website, which is updated usually with leaks that we cannot feature in videos, along with other news that you fans of the CBC might find interesting. And the entire thing is ad-free, so you don't have to worry about what is tracking what you've been looking at. So with that out of the way, let's jump on over back to the podcast. But hey, speaking of Kingdom Hearts and being insane and not understanding anything, let's talk about the Superior Iron Man. Was that a good segue? Superior Iron Man segue?
No.
No, that was probably pretty terrible. Anyways, though, Tom Cruise. Yeah, Doctor Strange 2. He's going to play Iron Man. This has been something that's been discussed so many times.
I've told you all for years.
I mean, look.
I've said it so many times.
And we know originally, he was one of the, when you start coming up with a movie, you put actors on your wish list. He was on top of that for Marvel Studios because of his name. And we know that originally, he was like, well, if I do it, I want to show my face the entire time, right? Because Tom Cruise, the face, the value.
Just imagine Tom Cruise with no helmet flying around.
It's that Superior Iron Man. That's what people are saying. And it's like,
say they literally have the suit.
Yep.
It was made for him now. It's perfect.
And like, we've gotten so many leaks now, and also people that were very much connected to previous leaks with Spider-Man and everything we've seen come true from Hawkeye and everything. He's in Doctor Strange, and he is playing Iron Man. So,
I mean, there's that set photo, isn't there? He's literally got the beard and the suit.
There's like 3 different ones now, and they're all true. Yeah. So, yeah, it's...
You see people being like that's a Photoshop Mission Impossible one. It's just like, I mean, it could well be, until someone shows me the Mission Impossible set photo of him that makes it clearly Photoshopped for this one.
And also,
for me, this is him as Tony Stark.
In the Mission Impossible films, he's never had the Tony Stark beard. And this looks...
You can Photoshop that in.
Yeah, you can, but like those people that like analyze the photos just to be like, hey, is this Photoshopped? They're like, oh no, this is on his face. You could tell. So it's like, unless somebody did a full
remember how we deep faked a deep fake? Like... Andrew Garfield or whatever, like that was like that whole saga.
We gotta go 5 deep. Gotta make sure they're confused.
Was he fungible on the set of this film? I must know.
I was just gonna make an NFT joke.
This is the new thing. We just everything.
Instead of the ugly monkeys, it's Tom Cruise.
It's different Tom Cruise.
Just different Tom Cruises.
They're all screaming and running though, because that's his thing.
You get the golden spaghetti monster Scientology Tom Cruise.
Remember though when they released the trailer to that Mummy movie and they forgot to do the audio mix, so that scene of him screaming is just him actually screaming, and it was like 30 seconds long of no audio, just Tom Cruise going.
Yes,
like,
yes.
This is peak. Keep this, please. And they took it down.
I didn't watch that when it came out. I only found out about it when someone went, I watched this occasionally just to laugh at it. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, oh my God, it's quiet.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on?
So,
but no, he's definitely, he's 100. If he's not in this movie, I'll be shocked.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also
all this talk about fun cameos and stuff. It's like, I mean, Tom Cruise's Iron Man is like,
right. Yeah, that's the one.
Let's be real. The only cameo people wanted was Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man coming back.
Well, apparently that's happening too. Yeah. This,
which I mean, I'm cool with. If it was going to be anywhere else, it was going to be in the Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, since you're already here,
the one I was the one I really wondered if they really were going to do is the Nick Cage as Johnny Blaze coming back.
I don't think. Well, I'm trying to think of the 6-page long list of cameos.
Look, only if Nick Cage can be allowed to be as Nick Cagey as he was in that second Ghost Rider movie, where he's like pissing flames. If we can get that, sure, I will take it. But
see, my question with all these is how do you tie these cameos in? Because they got to be in service to the plot, right? Like we've seen the previews of the Ultron robots, and you can assume that that's actually Tom Cruise's Iron Man controlling the Ultron drones from Age of Ultron. He's actually succeeded in doing that.
Here's how we do it, right? So Doctor Strange and Wong need help from the Ultimate Sorcerer Supreme. So they recruit Ned to pull together Avengers from different universes, because he clearly did with different Peter Parkers.
Oh, so the CEO of Sex is going to come in.
Yes. And he just sits there. He's like, bring me Iron Man. And Tom Cruise is like, ah, runs through a portal. Then they're like, okay, try again. Bring me Professor X. Oh, okay. And he'll just make, all of these screw ups be canon. So.
See, that was a funnier answer to what I was going to give.
What were you going to give?
I was going to say the part of the TVA.
Ooh, that'd be nice. That'd be kind of cool.
I went for a potential legit answer. You went for the better funny one.
Yeah, I went for this is clearly not going to happen. But if it did,
I want to see her Sex now.
Yeah. There's also some
Because
rumors, though. What's up?
My thinking is, you got Kang running the TVA now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kang proper is not Immortus and it's not anyone else. So why would he look at everything and be like, I'm going to let these guys run rampant?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to use these guys for my own stuff.
Because
there's one of the shots in the trailers that looks like the TVA door.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, It's like, well, why would all these different characters be brought together? It's like, TVA.
Yeah.
That's purely my assumption, but
it would
kind of what I want to happen, to be honest.
And I mean, there was people that were saying Loki and Sylvie are both in this film, and I mean, that would kind of that might make sense. That might just make sense. So, yeah, there's also some rumors saying that Tom Cruise is going to be wielding a bunch of the Infinity Stones as well. Like his Iron Man, has collected them, which.
Yeah, it said some leaks said that he was gonna have 3 of them on his suit. I think.
Bro.
Oh really? I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Do we know which 3 it is, or it would be the 3 that
Yeah, and it didn't specify. It just said 3.
Yeah.
So, because what are the 3 he's come across? Mind. I can't think what it is now.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
Mind, space, and something else were the 3 he came across before. Maybe it's time he got it from Doctor Strange in New York. Because all 3 were in New York in the right time.
See, that would actually make sense. That kind of makes sense.
Because I've heard he's supposed to be a control freak, and that makes a lot of sense with the Ultron drones.
That makes a lot of sense with the Ultron drones and the Tom Cruise factor.
Yeah.
This is going real meta.
Watch him praise Shumagorath. He's like, Scientology.
It's going to turn out that those set photos and videos we saw of him and Ailey Atwell apparently were shooting for Mission Impossible is actually for the MCU, and we were all bamboozled. Just watch.
That's an interesting point, because is supposed to be Captain Carter in this movie as well.
Yeah. They're going to, oh my God, Mission Impossible going to be canon. I'm in. I mean, at
this point, why not? Right?
I'd be down for it. I like.
He falls out of a plane in the suit. Like, it's just literally Iron Man 2. He falls out or Iron Man 3. He gets sucked out the plane and the suit appears.
See, the problem is they can't afford enough insurance, because Tom Cruise would be like, no, throw me out of a plane. I'll figure this out. It's like, dude, you can't call an Iron Man suit. He's like, oh, I can.
They're just reusing the Mission Impossible footage.
Just like they did for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Like, he doesn't know they're going to CGI everything. They just spray painted in chrome. He's like, there you go. There's your Iron Man suit.
Trust us, it works, Tom. He's like, all right, I'll do it. Oh, genius. Just genius. So I think what we're saying here is, look, Tom Cruise is in this film. It seems like Tobey Maguire more or less is as well, because, I mean, all the evidence is piling on a couple of these things being all true. So this film, I think this has the potential to also do as much as Spider-Man. Like, this is going to be huge once people start, talking about it, and once they start teasing these. I'll just say now, if Hugh Jackman shows up in this film is going to be huge. It's going to be bigger than we think.
Which apparently he's not. Apparently he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like Ben, apparently Affleck has said maybe Secret Wars, because we know they're going that direction.
Yeah.
But I think Hugh Jackman's just like, no.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to juice anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you can CG the juice now, or just put him into a muscle suit.
It was like a year or 2 back where he said that he didn't want to have to bulk up anymore for Wolverine.
And say he was tired, eating the chicken. And say he didn't eat chicken anyway. Let's be honest.
No. I can tell you this from literally hanging out with a dude who trains Miss Olympia. You don't eat chicken, trust me. You do not. you supplement way more things than just that. So. It's okay. It's okay.
Chicken flavored roids.
It's like chicken and a biscuit, but just chicken roids. Oh, so yeah. Look, we're excited. We can't wait to see what this film like. Doctor Strange and the Batman are my number 1 and 2, and they flip between which one I'm more excited for this year. So I'm super hyped to see what this film has.
I'll be honest, I keep forgetting that Batman's this early.
It's because WB has not been advertising it.
But they have. That's
Where?
Yeah, they have. It's just
had
weird.
that clip the other day. We've had all these posters. You got the weird.
The Little Caesars pizza.
That's the one.
See, that I've seen.
That weird thing.
But like, I watch like
release date, I
pro
always
wrestling, right? And it's owned by WB, the channel it's on. I haven't seen one single thing advertising the Batman. I'm like, dude, this is WB Networks. What are you doing? Like, I don't get it. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, it's like, I haven't forgot the movie. I just forget the release date.
Yeah. That makes
It's
sense.
like, oh yeah, it starts in March. We're like less than a month away. It's kind of wild.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be great. I'm excited to see what they have.
It's great. For a 3-hour movie, it better damn well be great. Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That has effectively brought us to the end of the show. We got 4 main topics. We got a bonus topic coming up for members, and we got 3 Q&As in there. So you guys got a fully loaded show. It's been a good one. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend and watching all those TV shows and things out there that got your peacemakers.
Nah, I'm watching Pam and Tommy at the minute.
I need to.
I mean, Disney Plus. Like, that's wild.
I need to watch that. I'm not watching a whole lot. I'll be real with you. I'm just playing a lot of video games. I'm back on a high video game kick, so
Nice.
it's been nice. It's been nice.
I say I legit forgot today was Thursday, and I was too busy playing Monster Hunter on the Switch.
Ooh, is that Monster Hunter Rise or?
Yes.
I'm gonna get that for PC.
You could play it on
It
PC.
looks really good on PC.
That's why, yeah.
Well, I just like being able to play it wherever and whenever, do a
that
hunt
makes
and take a crap. Like,
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I suppose with that, everybody, we are gonna go now. We're gonna go record a bonus members topic. Hopefully, we see you guys there. And till next weekend, take care.